For all those that are getting ready to go back into school, parents getting your kids together, we're in for a treat. We have with us Jose Mathews, Red Clay School Board member. How are you, Jose?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much for having me.
Good to see you, my friend.
Good to see you.
It's been a minute.
It has been a long time.
Since pre-COVID.
I know.
Yeah.
It's really interesting to be back in person
Yeah.
and to start doing things in person. So I was just excited to be able to get out of the house.
Well, I'm excited to have you here.
Thank you,
now,
Jordan.
Now, help me understand, how long have you been serving on the Red Clay School Board?
So I'm in my 3rd year of my 5-year term.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, that's interesting because it's my understanding that the General Assembly just changed the term limits for Red Clay School Board members, correct?
They did. So it was actually for school board members across the state.
Oh, okay.
So
not just Red Clay.
So not just Red Clay.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
So they ended up reevaluating the number of years that board members should be serving. And the decision was to reduce the term from a 5-year term to a 4-year term. Okay. So we recently just had a school board election back this past spring in May.
Gotcha.
And there was incredible voter turnout. I'm really hoping to continue that level of engagement moving forward. And I think people are really starting to notice and realizing how important our school boards are, and the members who serve on our school boards, how important they are in all the decision-making capacities that they have.
Well, you know, I have attended quite a few of your guys' board meetings.
Yes.
I love watching you and Dr. Bohm.
Yes,
Ashley
Dr.
Sabo.
Bohm's incredible.
It's a great, I would say, diverse board. What got you to get involved with Red Clay School Board?
Yeah, and I love that you pointed out the point of diversity.
Right.
And that's something that has been, that makes our board so unique. I am one of 2 Hispanic board members in this state.
Wow.
I have a colleague down in the Milford School District, Ronnie Baltazar Lopez, who serves down there. And so we have such a great opportunity here in Red Clay to have a diverse group of people on our board. And really, I think it helps us be well-rounded. I think it's really set us apart and has made us really unique in that perspective. So it's really, that's one big thing that I wanted to contribute, is adding to that level of diversity, but also advocating for our students. And making sure that we had a voice at the table, and making sure that Hispanics had a voice at the table. As we enter Hispanic Heritage Month, starting September 15th, it is certainly my mission to making sure that all of our students feel represented, all of our families feel represented and included in our public institutions.
You know, and I love that you speak such highly on diversity. That's why I got involved with helping Lillian Oliver when she ran for school board. Now, you guys have had quite a plethora of items on the agenda.
Yes.
Funny, a little plug to the agenda. We have a show on DETV, the agenda with Kerwin. You guys have spoken about quite a few referendums that have come up. You care to speak to some of, like, say, the necessities that's coming up?
Yeah, absolutely. So one of the committees that I actually sit on is the Facilities Committee.
Okay.
And I am serving in my 2nd year on the Facilities Committee, which has been such an incredible opportunity. Over the past year, we've done a year-long facilities assessment, really meaning that we've engaged with architects and experts, looking at our buildings, looking at our infrastructure, where our children are going to school every day. Now more so now that we're back in person, now that we're operating in person. And I think that COVID has really highlighted the fact that we need to make sure that we have appropriate settings for our students. And so through that plan, we did a public workshop for the community to kind of look at what our findings were. And so we ended up finding $500 million in deferred maintenance.
Wow.
Now I know that sounds...
$500 million, that's a lot of money.
And I know that sounds like a lot, but you have to realize Red Clay is the largest school district in the state.
Right.
And we run 32 schools and programs.
Wow.
So really winding that down, it was anticipated, and it's time. I previously sat on our Community Finance Review Committee, which we like to call CFRC.
Okay.
And on that committee, it's led by Jill Flore, our CFO for the district. And I'd like to think that Red Clay has been extremely cautious and has used our tax dollars in a way that I've been so blown away with and so impressed by. I don't know another finance person who knows how to stretch a dollar more than Jill Flore. And that committee does incredible work and has community representation. So so it's been quite some time that we've passed a referendum and have gone out for referendum or needed one. So now we're in the process that at our last meeting back in August, we unanimously passed this year-long facilities assessment and are going to be submitting this to the state for a certificate of necessity.
Wow.
So we are waiting to hear back from the state, and based on the response we receive and based on the certificate of necessity, the process then moves forward from there for potential consideration of a referendum.
Now there's 32 schools you said in Red Clay
And
School.
programs. So
programs,
yeah,
right?
and programs.
And programs. Now, you being a school board member,
Yes.
what can parents do to help with such a task like that?
Sure, absolutely. I think showing up to our school board meetings, asking questions, being engaged. Our school board loves to hear from parents and people and stakeholders in the community. So making sure that you know who your school board members are, making sure that you reach out to them and spread the word. I think that people can really help by spreading the message of the great programs and the great programming that we have at our district.
That's awesome. Now, help me understand also, I would love to hear from you because there's still some parents right now.
Yes.
With children
Yes.
that are still a little concerned
Sure.
to be going into school with this Delta variant. How are you feeling as a school board member knowing that school has already started actually, not just getting ready to go back? But how are you feeling with having so many kids back in school with all this?
Yeah, so this week we are wrapping up our first week. K through 12, we are fully back in person. We do have some accommodations that we're providing for parents. So we have roughly 250 children enrolled in our online platform. So for those who have qualifying medical conditions, we at Red Clay want to make sure that we're accommodating those students and families as much as possible. But in the grand scheme of things, I think that what we've seen, being that only 250 students out of the thousands of students we serve, I think that speaks volumes in terms of, our families and students. They want to be back, and we've received such positive feedback from the community, on how this week has gone. And so we've spent months prepping for this and engaging with a lot of different stakeholders. We've consulted with our partners at Christiana Care. They have been great partners with us. We have clinics with Christiana Care and our partners at Nemours, and obviously working with the governor's office and the elected officials and looking at the mandates that they have implemented as well. So following the guidelines, looking at CDC guidelines, to really help formulate a good, sound plan for our students.
Well, Jose, you sound pretty darn busy. You guys sound pretty darn busy.
It has been.
Yeah, and
A
you
busy
said
school.
you're in your third year.
I am.
So is elections coming up for school board members?
Yes.
Okay, when
Yes.
is that coming?
So we have our next school board election will be in May
Of next year?
of
22.
2022, which is
Wow.
right around the
Right, I
corner.
can't believe
Yeah,
that.
I know.
Oh my
I
God.
know.
So how are you feeling about that?
So I'm excited based on the last election turnout. We had incredible turnout. We had the most turnout that we've seen in recent history. And so I'm looking forward to continuing the work that we're doing throughout the community.
And you, as a school board member, now how many school board members are there in Red Clay?
So Red Clay has 7.
7.
Yes.
And you being one of 7, you represent a specific area, and it's my understanding you represent the Ellesmere area?
Yes.
Is that correct?
Yes.
So where does that stretch for our viewers to understand?
Yeah,
So for
absolutely.
those that, but also, even before you even answer that, it's my understanding you as long as you live in the Red Clay School District, you
That
can
is
vote
correct.
for any school board member,
That
right?
that is correct.
Okay.
So the way these nominating districts work is that I am from one slice of the pie, of 7 pieces of the pie.
Okay.
So from my slice of the pie, and that's to ensure that everyone from all, members from the city and the suburbs are all represented on our board. And so I represent, or I'm from, I should say, the Ellesmere area, but I represent the entire district as a whole.
Gotcha.
And that goes for all of our school board members.
Well, you guys are busy, and I appreciate all your work. I love every time I come
Thank
to
you,
the
Jordan.
actual school board members. You hold back no punches, because I'm going to tell you, to the viewers now, you can take it as an endorsement all you want. I like this guy. Like, you really do. No, seriously, you
Thank
really
you.
make sure you're addressing the actual issues, and you're there representing, and I can't thank you enough for all that
Thank
you're doing.
you.
So thank you, and we'll make sure. And how can, real quick before we go,
Sure.
how can we let parents get information? Is there a website that they can visit? Is there...
Absolutely. Yeah. So please visit our website. Please follow our Facebook pages, our social media accounts and pages. There's a lot of great material and information that we've been sending out to our parents and making sure that we continue to communicate.
All right. Well, I can't thank you enough, Jose.
Thank you, Jordan. It was a pleasure.
We'll be right back.